When it comes to dating, there are so many questions and so many opinions. What should you talk about on the first date? Is it okay to date a woman who makes more money than you? Going toe-to-toe on these topics and more is Whitney Casey, Better's relationship expert and author of The Man Plan, and Jeff Wilser, author of The Maxims of Manhood.
All right, thanks, Rhiannon. Okay, Jeff, we always do the he said, she said thing, and this time some really good topics. The first one, the first date is always the hardest thing. The two things that I find that people say to me are, I never know what to say and I don't know what to wear, but we're covering what to say. Do you think that a man and a woman have a different agenda for the first date topics?
You know, I'm not convinced that this is really a gender issue. I think the bigger issue is both men and women, the biggest common mistake is talking too much about themselves. So asking questions is always a good, safe thing to do there. But
you went on a date that you did not like. The question was,
you
what are
can't
your
do it
hobbies?
in a schlocky way.
Right,
a girl said,
right.
"What are your hobbies?" And I was thinking, it's an awkward question. I feel like making things up. Like, well, antique maps, ice sculptures, right? So
walking on the beach in the sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just cheesy. So, organic conversations.
Yes, organic's a great word.
It's not so easy to be organic when you're really uncomfortable. So I suggest a little dating cheat sheet where you just kind of you don't have ones like that, as cheesy as what are your favorite hobbies, but something like if you're about to get a meal and you're talking about food, just say something like, oh, what's the best meal you ever had?
Totally.
I mean, would you feel like that's schlocky,
great.
as you say?
I think starting small with things like food and then letting that expand to where you're from is a more organic way to do it than having spirited exchange of backstory.
Right.
I'm from here. I do this for a living. Yes.
I do this, and just try not to talk about your job the whole time. I mean, you're
That's
at
the
it all
worst.
day. Don't talk about it all night. Okay, the next topic. We've got to move on. Would you date, especially in this economy, would you date a woman who had more money than you?
Almost all women have more money than me. So certainly, I think that if there's a small disparity, it's no big deal at all.
Okay.
If the woman is a high-powered attorney and the guy makes clay bowls but refuses to sell them for a living.
Or as an author.
That too. I think that is fine, of course. The key though is that, let's be honest, resentment might build if every single time the woman is buying a meal, the woman pays for drinks. So it's important the guy can do other creative dates that it costs less money to feel like the provider at times.
Yeah, because he's still the provider. Like you said, come up with things in the picnics in the park, things like that, to make it a little bit more like you're providing the idea and the date doesn't mean you have to pay for it.
Exactly. Cooking dinner for the girl is a great solution for guys who want to be budget friendly.
I know. Okay, last topic. Should you date for a mate or just date to date?
I think dating two mates or dating for a mate, there's no right or wrong answer there. It depends where you are in life and how much alcohol you've had, and also, most importantly, what your intentions are. What your intentions are, and making sure that you're not pretending one thing and doing the other.
You know what the number one complaint on womenonmatch.com? I'm sitting at a focus group with all these women, and they said, we want to know your intentions. If you're just out there to get, then tell us, at least say, I'm out just to date, I'm not out for a mate.
For lots of other head-butting, battle of the sexes questions and answers, you can pick up Whitney's book, The Man Plan, or Jeff's book, Maxims of Manhood. Both are available now.